We can say anything. The main purpose of software testing is to identify and fix problems before the software released to end users. End users are we. Next, there are 7 principles of software testing. We see this one by one. First one is testing show the presence of defects. Testing to show the presence of defects means this main aim is the primary goal of testing is to deliver an exceptional quality product to the market and also to make the product success in the real world. That is, if a software tester aims at finding the presence of bugs in the software product during the development phases, chances are less for a product to have a bug in real world. If a software aims in finding the presence of bugs in the software product, there is no bug in the product when it delivers to the real world. Next one is absence of error. As we seen in the previous step, testing is to unearth the defects from the product, but that does not mean that there will be no errors at all. There is no such thing called 100% bug-free product. Let's say you have achieved 99.99% bug-free product. That does not mean it's completely usable. If it meet only requirements, end users requirements only, it is a usable one. If we have achieved 99.99% bug-free means it is ready for use. It is ready for, we cannot say it is ready for use or it is a usable product. If we meet the specified requirements of the end user only, the product will be value in the real world. Next one is yearly testing. I can say one example for this yearly testing. If you have planned to do one thing or for interview or any exam, you started learning yearly. Likewise, testing also to be done yearly. Yearly testing will give better results, greater results. Next thing is, in principle software testing, exhaustive testing is not possible. Why exhaustive testing is not possible means if you write the test cases or test scenarios for two or more input fields, if there is a 2 input fields, we take the login credentials, login with valid credentials, login with invalid credentials. If more than 2 input field means the test cases will be more. There is no possibility of all the test cases there is no possibility to test all the test cases. That's why excessive testing is not possible in software testing. Next, defect clustering. If you are from a MBA background or a bachelor's degree, you studied Pareto principle in total quality management. What does the Pareto principle says means 80% of the consequences from 20% of the causes. We can say another example, 80% of the accidents are caused by 20% of the irresponsible drivers. Likewise, if we cover the 80% of the bugs, if we cover the 20% of the bugs, we will get the efficiency of 80% of a product, good product. Next is pesticide paradox. Pesticide paradox also I have an example. If you apply a same mixture of pesticides over a period in a farming, the insects will develop resistance to pesticides and your pesticides will not have any effect on the insects. Similarly, if we test the application with the same set of test cases, we will never discover new bugs. As a tester, we have to think innovatively to create new test cases. We have to update on the test cases. Only we will find a new bug. This is the things precise paradox in software principles of software testing. Next, testing is context dependent. We cannot use the test cases for each and every software product. There is separate. We need to create the test cases separately for each and every application. That's what the testing is context dependent. Next, we will see how will be the software developed in an organization under this SDLC, software development life cycle. What is software development life cycle? It is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test high quality software or application. We can say the application or software. This, there are some stages in SDLC. Stages of SDLC, software development life cycle, is requirement gathering analysis, define, design, implementation or coding or build, testing, deployment, maintenance. In requirement gathering analysis, in every organization, BA will gather information from the users. What are the things and all that to be placed in the software application? Next, defining requirements. In this SRS, software requirement specification document, which consists all the product requirements to be designed and developed during the project life cycle. Next, design. Design is what are the programming languages we are going to use, database, what are the high level technical details of the it will display it will give us high level technical details of the project. In this, DDS is useful for documentation, design document specification, implementation or coding or built. It includes the programming source, creating graphics and compiling assets into an executable program. In this part, developer will develop a code for an application. Testing. This is the software testing occurs in this place only. In this part only, in SDLC testing takes place. In this phase, testing the software to verify that is built as per the specifications given by the client. Here the product defects are reported, tracked, fixed, and rested until the product reaches the quality defined in SRS. Next, deployment. Deployment to the end users. Once a program has passed the testing phase, it is ready for deployment. Deploy the application in the respective environment. Last one is maintenance. Maintenance of the completed software includes software upgrades, repairs, fixes of the software if it breaks. If any issues find out, this belongs to this maintenance in SDLC. There are some SDLC methodologies. In every organization, Agile methodology are following now. Next, we see the levels of testing. There are different levels of testing: unit testing, integrated testing, system testing, acceptance testing. This unit testing is done by a developer. Integration and system testing is done by a tester. Acceptance testing is done by a end user. That means client team. Client team will done this acceptance testing, UAT. there are a number of testings are there, like white box testing, black box testing. But we are going to see this functional testing and non-functional. Functional testing, it is black box testing geared to functional requirements and should be done by the test engineers. Testing done to ensure that the product functions the way it designed to according to the design specification and documentation. There are different types in functional testing: smoke testing, sanity testing, regression testing. First, we see what is smoke testing. Smoke testing, this testing is performed on a system superior to being accepted for the further testing. It is also called as zero testing. It will, what is testing belongs to means, we will check the basic functionalities of an application, software application. In sanity testing, we will test the core functionalities of an application. Next, regression testing. Regression testing is if we add any new requirements in an application, check whether the older functionalities are affected by the or impacted by the new functionalities. That testing called regression testing. So there are 5 environments in an IT industry, in every organization. Dev environment, developer it will be done by developer. Unit testing is performed here. QA environment used by testers. Integration testing and system integration testing is performed here. Next, UAT used by client side UAT team. User accept testing is performed here. Stage environment, while the regression and the non-functional testing takes place in stage environment. Next, prod environment for real-time customers. Next, non-functional testing. If we try to test an application under extreme condition, this non-functional testing will take place. We are going to test a software under extreme condition. What means, for example, if thousands of users log in at the same time, this non-functional testing will take place. Next, we will see software testing life cycle. This is used to test the software and ensure that the quality standards are met. Each of these stages have entry and exit criteria, activities, deliverables associated with it. These are the SDLC life cycle stages: requirement analysis, test planning and control, test analysis and design, test implementation and execution, evaluating exit criteria and reporting. First, we see requirement analysis. In this, we prepare RTM. RTM means requirement traceability matrix. It confirms 100% test coverage. It also maps and traces all the test cases are tested. All the test cases are covered. We will map and trace out all the modules are tested once. For this requirement traceability matrix to be prepared. Also identify test environment, gather details about testing priorities. In this, entry criteria will be contracts and VR document. VR means business requirement document. This will be done by business requirement document will be done by business analyst in every organization. Exit criteria will be finalized scope. Finalized scope of testing is crucial because it sets the clear expectation and the objectives for the testing process. It helps ensure that the testing team focuses on the most important aspects of the software or product. Next one, test planning. Next stage in software test life cycle, test planning. Preparing test plan, or we can say test cases, or we can say strategy document for various type of testing. Test tool selection. Next, test effort estimation, resource planning. In these stages, we will prepare these things. What will the entry criteria? Entry criteria in the previous stage, requirement gathering, like finalist scope and RTM, requirement traceability matrix. What will the exit criteria? Test strategy and test planning. Test cases for testing a software application. Next, test design. Next stage of software testing life cycle is test design. Create test cases, automation script, review and baseline test cases script, create test data. Here, this stage entry criteria will be test strategy and test plan. Exit criteria will be test suite, test case, test data, RTM. Next, test execution. Execute test as per plan, document test results and log defects for failed cases, map detects to test cases in RTM, retest the defects. Retesting, regression testing all takes place in this stage, text execution stage in software testing life cycle. Here entry criteria will be test suite, test case, test data, test environment. Exit criteria will be execution result, defect log. Next, text closure. After testing the software, if we not find any bug, this is the last one. Test sign off. We can say it as test sign off. Evaluate cycle completion, prepare test metrics, learning document, prepare closure, test closure report, test result analysis. Entry criteria will be execution result, defect log. Exit criteria will be closure document. Next, there is defect management. If you find any bug in a software application, we can raise a bug to the developer. There is one tool, mostly used tool, Jira. In Jira, we tester will raise a bug, will assign a bug to a developer. If it is a valid bug, developer will fix it, and he will change the status into fix in progress. He will, but first he will assign a job to a developer, assign a status to update a status to a developer. The status will be changed into assigned. Then a developer will open it, and if it is a valid bug, he will change the status into fix in progress. If he done the fixing a bug, then he will change the status into ready for retest. Then a tester will receive a mail. Then the tester will retest the bug. Then he changes the status into retesting progress. Once the bug cleared, he fix the issues. He changes the status into closed. This is what defect life cycle will happen. If any bug rises, bug and defect are interchangeable. If the actual behavior of an application, there deviation between the actual and expected behavior of an application is bug, or we can say it as defect. There is difference between regression and retesting. Regression testing is when the regression testing takes place, means if the older functionality of the application are impacted by the new functionalities or requirements. We will use the regression testing. Retesting means if you find any bug, we retest the same thing, same application modules. That is retesting. Next, I will present you test cases format. There are some columns for test case. I created this for one insurance application. Column consists of serial number, test case name. Here, test case name I find as TC underscore HI underscore 001. Next, functional specification as PBI2. Then I give the description for the test case. Then the column test case priority. There is also one priority and severity for every application. Then approved by whom. Then prerequisites, test data, next test step, who we are going to done the test step by step. Next, what will the expected result, then actual result, then status, then created by, this is the employee ID, created by whom, then date of creation, then executed by whom, then date of execution, remarks. If any regression testing happens, we will mark here according to the test case we done with regression testing. Now we see severity and priority. Severity is set by the tester, priority is set by the customer. Severity of the defect is impact of the bug in terms of financial loss, damage to the environment, company reputation, and the loss of life. Priority of a defect is related to how quickly a bug should be fixed and deployed to live. There are some combinations of for this high severity, high priority bug. If high severity, high priority bug means, we can say an example. I can say one example. In Flipkart, every customer get error message when placing the order and the order is not taken. This is high priority and high severity bug. High priority, low severity bug. Functionality all looks good, but due to minor non-functional part, the business reputation will be lost. For example, the logo or name of the company is wrongly displayed on the website. It is important to fix the issue as soon as possible, although it may not cause a lot of damage. This is high priority, low severity bug. Next, high severity, low priority bug. For example, some customers who use Internet Explorer cannot continue with the purchase of a product in any e-commerce website because the number of customers with the world browsers is very low. It is not a high priority to fix the issues. This is what the high severity, low priority bug. Low priority, low severity. When the bug does not cause disaster, only affects small number of customers, both severity and priority are assigned low. Cosmetic defects, design issues, text overlapping are low severity, belongs to low severity, low priority bug. This priority and severity and all, we will assign this defect management tool Jira, widely used tool. We assign we given the priority and we give the priority and the severity in the defect management tool. Now we see what is black box testing, white box testing. For white box testing, testing of a software internal coding and infrastructure. Tester have to bother about these things while done this white box testing. While doing a white box testing, tester has to know the internal code and infrastructure. This can be done by both developer and the tester. If a tester is a techno-functional, he will done this white box testing also. Next, black box testing, it is fully done by a tester. He does not bother about the internal code and infrastructure. He just focus on input and the expected output of the software system. Without bothering about, he cannot bother about any code and internal infrastructure. He just focus on inputs and the expected output of the software is enough. There are a lot of testing. Another one testing, ad hoc testing. In ad hoc testing, we will not prepare any document or maintain any document in that. Thus we can test the software logically and illogically. That is ad hoc testing. Another one testing, monkey testing is there. Monkey testing is jumping module to module testing. This smoke testing is day zero testing. It will take before the sprint starts. In agile methodology, for developing an application, there is sprint for every stage of application. Sprint consists of 3 weeks, or we can say 15 days. There are a lot of automation tools, and also languages to command the Selenium, namely. Already I told you this one. There are 5 environments. For dev environment, when the tester done this testing, unit testing, the website will be in www. We take an example, Amazon. In dev environment, the website name will be www.amazon.dev.in. When it moves to QA environment, it changes into www.amazon.qa.in. When it moves to UAT environment, it changes into www.amazon.uat.in. When you move to next stage environment, where regression testing and non-functional testing happens, that it will be changed to www.amazon.in. That's what we are using, end users using www.amazon.in. Non-functional testing is testing the software and application under extreme condition. That means thousands of users at the same time. The test, some of the testing techniques are there for preparing test cases. Test cases will be prepared based on the boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning, decision table, exceptional case identification. Based on these techniques, test cases will be prepared by a tester. Okay, Sumita will share about industry experience.
Yeah, thank you, Anand. Yeah, hi all. Very good morning. This is Sumita. I'm automation expert in IT industry. So I would like to stress how the automation has become trend and popular in the industry, which is providing a faster solution for the business needs faster growing of technology in various areas. So basically automation confined involved in various areas. So we'll discuss about the advantages of software testing and what and all the automation tool which we are using in IT industry. And finally, we'll discuss about what and all the roles and responsibilities for the QA. So when it comes to automation testing, we have several advantages like speed and efficiency, accuracy, reusability, and comprehensive testing, regression testing, and cost savings, and CACD pipelines. So we'll elaborate one by one how speed and efficiency will work in advantages part. So basically speed and efficiency to automate the test can execute the quickly and repeatedly. So here we can save the time when compared to manual testing. So accuracy, basically the automation reduce the risk and human errors and ensure the consist of the test result. We need to ensure the whether the product accuracy is working as per customer requirement or not. So reusability, basically it test script can be whatever the test scripts we have written as a part of the product, so that can be reused in different test cases. So here we can reduce the duplication of the effort to make the easier maintenance and test to suit. So comprehensive testing, it is allows to run the large number of test cases. So let's say for example, if we have around 1000 2500 test cases for the new application, so here it will help us to execute the large number of test cases, as well as we can cover it in multiple platforms and configuration as well. So regression testing, it's basic regression testing to test all the functionality of the application before we release the build to the customer. So here we will be verifying all the new code changes and whatever the enhancements bugs has been fixed, everything we need to make sure as a part of regression testing. So cost savings. So why we are preferring the automation testing means if manual test engineer required 3 to 4 hours of times in order to execute the particular functionality, but for automation QA it is required only 1 hour of time in order to automate the same functionality. So it is very quick and performance perspective. So here we can save the cost savings. So it can lead the long-term cost savings by reducing the need for the manual tester, increasing the test coverage and continuous deployment. So CACD support. So this is automation integrate well CACD pipelines. It is enable the new code changes they are committed ensure to the quality of the product. So which means whatever the changes we have done as a part of the application, so we need to maintain in CACD pipeline support. And when it comes to reporting structure, so we can improvise the reporting as well. So automation tools, it's often to provide the detailed reports, logs, as well as the bugs. So however, in order to automate the testing scenarios, we need to balance the approach, incorporate the both automation as well as manual in order to deliver the product in effective strategy way. So in industry, we have several automation tools available in the market. So let me highlight some of the popular tools. So like Selenium. We have like Selenium, Appium, Test Complete, JUnit and TestNG, Cucumber, Postman, Robotic Framework, and TestNG. So these and all like several tools which we are using in automation industry. So when comes to Selenium, so Selenium, it's basically open source tool. So that allows the tester to write the script various of programming language. So like Java, C++, Python, and it support multiple browsers as well. So in IT industry, so most of the organization will prefer Selenium because it is an open source tool. There is no any cost in order to use this Selenium. So Appium also, it is an open based tool, but it supports mobile application and Android iOS platform, and also it crafts platform testing in order to use the single code base. So Appium, if we require to automate the mobile automation and iOS automation, so in order to automate those things, we prefer to use Appium tool. So Test Complete, it's basically commercial tool. It supports automate of desktop, web, and mobile applications, and it provides the user friendly interface and test creation as well. And we do have like test JUnit and TestNG. So there are popular testing framework of Java. So here we have used unit testing and integration testing, provide the features test management tool of the execution. So, and Cucumber, this is also kind of tool. Cucumber, it is basically like it support behavior driven development, which is BDD. So it allows to test to be written natural language format. So in Cucumber, we will be using the Gherkin language format in order to understand the framework structure to the customers. And Postman, it's primary known as, it is completely auto API a testing tool. Postman also can be automated in web services and APIs. And one more to call robotic framework. This robotic framework, it is also automation open source tool automation framework that uses keyword driven approach. Here we will be using the keyword driven, whatever the keywords we are going to execute, everything will be pre-built in robotic framework. So it is highly extensible. It can be here. Robotic framework also can support web, mobile, as well as API testing. And now let's talk about, there are some paid tools also available in the market, like UFT, Tosca, Opkey, uh, which is it's completely no code automation tool. So now let's talk about Opkey. So Opkey, it is known that it's completely scriptless automation approach. It is basically allows to create the automation script without writing the code. So in Selenium, we have to write the code by using any programming language. But in Opkey, we do not require to write any code. It is everything code is inbuilt. So we can utilize that inbuilt functionality in Opkey. And testers can visualize the interface of the design test cases. So here, non-developers to get involved in the automation process. In Opkey tool, non-developers also can be involved in the automation process. So Tosca, so the Tosca also it is unpaid tool. So it is scriptless test automation. So this is enable the testers to create, maintain automated test cases without writing the code. So this approach is basically use model-based test automation framework and making it more accessible for the non-developers. Let's talk about UFT. UFT, it's basically Unified Functional Testing, known as QTP. QTP, it's nothing but Quick Test Professional. It is the popular test of automation tool developed by Macrofocus. UFT is primarily used for, it supports functional testing as well as regression testing as well. And so in UFT, we can record and playback, which means whatever the automation performance we are going to perform in the application in order to project the functionality to the customer, we can record the things and we can playback via code. So basically, UFT allows to record their interface with the application and then playback those interaction as automated the test cases. And this will help to create the test cases quickly without any manual coding. Now let's talk about what and all the roles and responsibilities for the automation test engineer. So automation test engineer basically develop to maintain the automated test scripts and test suites. So as per the client requirement, so we have to make a test strategy document or test plan document, and we need to start writing the automated test script and test suite, and we need to execute the automated test cases in order to identify the software defects. In automation also, when we are running the automation script, there might be chances to face failures also. For that also, we need to report by using the Jira tool, which Anand has stated previously. In order to track the bugs, we can use Jira tool. And we can collaborate with developers and quality ensure, so to improve the comprehensive test coverage. So here we need to cover test coverage as per the requirement, as per the RTM, whatever the test cases and test tips, whatever we have written, we need to make sure in automation prospect also we have automated all the script as per the requirement or not. And we need to evaluate the appropriate testing tool to the framework. So as per the client requirement, we need to find out the automation framework as per the client requirement. Let's say, for example, if we are preparing Selenium with Java, we have multiple frameworks like hybrid driven framework, keyword driven framework, Kumba framework, Cypress tool. So each and every framework has each and every capabilities. So based on the client requirement, we need to identify the framework to process our automation testing, move further. And here we have automation architect as well. So automation architect to develop the automation strategy and automation framework as per the client requirement. So whatever the requirement which we will get it from client, based on that, automation architect will check the framework perspective, what kind of tools which we are going to use in order to perform the automation testing as per the client requirement. And here architect evaluate the selection approach to automation selection in platforms. And also automation architect will provide guidance to the automation teams as well. To conclude the sessions, so as a QA, we need to make sure should deliver the quality product to the customer without any issues for customer satisfaction to sustain our clients in our organization. Thank you. Any questions? Any clarifications?
Hello, Anand and Smita. Thank you for the session. It's a great one. I've been listening, and Smita, like
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
industry,
yeah.
what are the testing skills people? I mean, the students should prepare.
Yeah, so that is a bit a good question. Thanks, Ganeshan. So in industry, so most probably, so as a part of student, first they have to learn manual testing. So what and all the techniques in manual testing we are following. First, student should prefer manual testing, then they can switch to automation testing. So in initial stage itself, industry is preferring both manual as well as automation testing.
Thank you. Uh, yeah, as like folks on the folks who are attending from KSR College, do you have any questions for the team here? There are hundreds of people are participating, from KSR Europe. Hello. Those who are not talking, Mr. Kannan, can you go on mute? Okay. Uh, Miss,
Y-
Mr.
Yeah, Ganesh. Yeah,
Balu,
Ganesh.
sir, do you have any questions from your team? Okay.
Uh,
Looks
Ganesh
like
sir, and also I would like to add one more point for the students. So for students, there are many free certifications available in the websites. So they can go and get the certification. It will be useful for their career as well in order to improve their skill sets. They can add their resume as well.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
Thank you. The certifications are very important, for these days right now.
Yes,
People
yes,
are looking at it
exactly.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, from our company side, we do have, we do provide the testing skills. If you guys want to really, learn something from the fundamental, you guys, certainly contact us. And, there are a lot of opportunities also coming up shortly, on the testing side. Okay. If there is no question, we can close the webinar as well as, the in-person seminar too. Thank you folks for attending, and also thank you both Anand and Smita for the wonderful presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you all. Thanks for your valuable time. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate your time and engagement throughout the webinar session.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for being with us today. Thank you.